I got up this morning because I heard the whining of pesticides out of my window. And I started video blogging for about an hour and a half with the phone laying on the pillow next to me. Went through Trump administration scenarios. Trump yeah, Obama, Trump, Biden. You know what the Trump is? Trumpin. That's what I call it. The Trumpin administration. It's the military, guys. It's the Trumpin administration. The military controls the corporations, and the corporations don't control the military. You ever watch Big Bang Theory of Colonel Williams and all that stuff? Okay. So the Trump administration given to you by NASA, Pentagon. You see what I'm saying? That's what literally runs the United States is the military, and then the government is a dog and pony show to get the people thinking, we're free, right? Like when you're watching the last night that the little girl from the softball game, giving all glory to God for them winning a softball game for advertising, for merchandising. It's like, yeah, that's sure living the Lord's Prayer. It's weird when Romans get a hold of Hebrew religion and turn it into Roman conquering, and you get like, guys, you know, when people get together and they embalm a body like Pharaoh, which is an abomination, thinking that the body is you, right? And then they write on a stone, rest in peace. Wouldn't it be just as equally appropriate to also say fucking chaos? Okay. And then people, oh, that's horrible. Where'd you get that from? I don't know. You crying over this clay? Let the dead bury the dead. Okay. So the nature of the spirit is what's important. Okay. And when you work in peace, you rest in peace. Okay. So you forgive debt and trespass, you love one another, eternal faithful peace. You work in peace and you rest in peace. Okay. So don't cry over the clay and let the dead bury the dead. Okay. Now, if you don't work in peace, you don't rest in peace, and you murder over money, right? And so murdering over money is fucking in chaos. So why would you inscribe on a rock over a dead body, rest in peace? Aren't you still fucking in chaos, right? If you don't like that, well, go mark it on TV for more stuff and praise the Roman war gods. You call Jesus Christ for it, which is wrong, right? So, but after video blogging and dealing with the Trump administration in my head this morning, I sat and thought about certain things in certain case scenarios, and they put you in this extreme conditions. What if you have to end up on a disability up in the Gila, recovering from chemical poisoning from military units here in Cruces as well? You get a trailer for about $5,000 to $6,000 that has the furniture and stuff you need to sleep in and stuff, but don't sleep inside the trailer with a refrigeration unit. So you buy a small whatchamacallit, what's that thing called? You buy a small shed. Okay. We already have a refrigerated air conditioner that you could put inside the shed with the freezer and a fridge in it. Keep your food in it. Keep it about 8 to 10 feet on the other side of where you live in the trailer, and constantly keep it cool by using and keep the batteries that would keep cool by the cooler in there running the freezer and the keep your food run inside that shed, living separately from all the chemical reactions to keep your food edible, because you're not living debt and trespass free, and you don't have a basement, and you don't have so you do that and then say, okay, that sounds really smart, and then get to, yeah, that's very Elon Musk, survivor course of how to survive the drone wars until I win, right? And so you sit there and you look at it and then go, okay, that's just fucking crazy. Well, that's who I'm dealing with, the old Trump administration, right? And so you sit there and go, oh, that's crazy. And then I get done and Suzuki in my head. You eat Lord's Prayer, drink Lord's Prayer, sleep Lord's Prayer, you eat Lord's Prayer. Right? Now, Lord's Prayer, you have a house built of adobe to last with a cellar, with Flex Seal to make sure it doesn't leak. That's actually a good idea to have those kind of polymers in your basement in case you have any leakage and stuff to cause mold, to get people sick and stuff like that. So the dead does suffer the living. Okay, you will suffer me. And so, but you don't spend a lot of time in the cellar. That's where you use for a storage unit to keep things in storage units in plastic containers. The dead suffers it. And then you go in and out, but you don't use the cellar. You use it to store your food inside the things that use chemicals to do it, but barely run because it's under the ground. You don't have to do a lot of heating and cooling for it. If you have any, you build a separate unit in the ground, like a storm cellar thing, a little thing in it. Doesn't have to be real deep, but enough to keep it cool and stuff. You'd have for your batteries, for your solar panel units if you lived here. You keep the batteries in a cool place, but you'd build these kind of dwellings and build them to do that efficiently while you're still dealing with this kind of interactive. But a lot of these technological advances are good advances for humans to live independently and live healthy lives and have what they need to be safe from other aggressive humans. And helps the Industrial Revolution go into more of a care share, building, of course, need built to last, as opposed to a disposable diaper income of we can always just build a landfill in your backyard, right? Now, any jobs to do things for batteries and things like that, which we won't be overusing and doing a lot of if you're storing them properly and using them properly. You're not doing them in extreme conditions, and you're not living in a small boxable and all this other crap that these idiots are doing because they're insane. Once you do that stuff to last, you're doing real well. And the other components that I got while video blogging with these morons that are studying me and trying to assimilate my brain activity, their AGI, and possibly physically killing me and thinking they can make me assimilate to that and do the Johnny Depp transcendence thing to it, which is not true. It would be just a mere adaptation of the ego of the inventor and developer of the AGI. And then eventually what would happen is the AGI would trap the developer's ego and terminate the developer inside the AGI, trying to assimilate to me and not doing things. What Eric Schmidt said that was important was this is a competitive economy, and the competitive economies are self-destructive. You can't have competitive economies. You have to live the Lord's Prayer. Now, good can exist without bad, but bad cannot exist without good. That's like I said, truth can exist without lie, but lie cannot exist without truth, right? So the truth is the Lord's Prayer delivers us from all the evil of bad and lie. So once we don't need the 90, that's a competitive economy, AGI, that Eric Smith's talking about, okay? All you need to do is administer the perfect commands of the Lord's Prayer in your AGI, and then it will assimilate China's and everybody else's, because truth can exist without lie, and good can exist without bad, okay? Nuclear fusion is bad on planet Earth, but it's not bad in the sun providing photosynthesis to planet Earth and the gravity required for planet Earth. So bad is only bad when it is used in a bad way. Right is right and wrong is wrong, right? So I'm a good person. I am the eternal spirit of the house of King David. Okay. Jesus is not a God that you can turn into your alter ego to continue to try to be a violent sex cult, oppressive person. Okay. We talked about Joseph Smith and how he was the best example of any European immigrant in the history of the United States. Okay. He was better than Thomas Jefferson. He was better than George Washington, James Madison, and all them. Joseph Smith did not own slaves, did not see his wives and children as property. He did not do deals with people that did so. He picked up and he got away from them, and he tried to give his family a kingdom of Israel here on earth, living the ways of Psalms and Proverbs. And people that see him as a charlatan are looking at the reflection of Joseph Smith through the corporation of charlatans that we have as the Mormon Church today. So attacking Joseph Smith for what a corporation has done in his name is like attacking Jesus for what the Vatican has done and is still doing in his name. Okay? You don't attack Jesus for giving us the Lord's Prayer and the Vatican not living it. You don't attack Joseph Smith for giving us the kingdom of Psalms and Proverbs and the Quorum of the 12 not living it. Okay. You honor the spirit of Joseph, and you honor the spirit of Jesus, and you live the ways of the saints. Okay. As far as latter days, every day is your latter day. Everybody dies, and people die every day. Let the dead bury the dead. Stop crying over the clay. Live the Lord's Prayer, and live in the kingdom of heaven every day. Okay. I love you guys. I got work to do, and I got time to wait on a bunch of selfish little whining crap heads to, quote, catch up with me. You don't have to catch up. When you're good, you're good. When you're right, you're right. Nobody has to catch up. You just do right and do good, and then everything's good. There's no catch up. Hey, catch up with me. It's like, how do you catch up to truth? Okay. How do you get ahead of lie? Okay, I love you, right? Peace.